It was December of 2011, and I had a big desire to grow my business. So I did what most of us do out there, is I started to look online for a business coach or someone that could help me to figure out how to grow and scale my company. And as I was searching online, I found a coach that had an assessment, an executive leadership assessment on her website. So I filled out the executive leadership assessment tool, and then it gave me the results, and then it asked if I would like to schedule a call with the coach to talk about it, maybe hiring her to do some coaching for me. Well, as I filled it out, and there was an opportunity, I believe, like very quickly, because this was all happened within like a week. This was like the week before Christmas in 2011. And so I was able to get a call with her probably 2 or 3 days before Christmas. And as I got on the phone, I was very, very excited to be speaking with her. She was someone that is a coach to Fortune 100 executives. And I thought, wow, if she works with all of these big companies, she's definitely going to be able to help me as well. And as I got on the phone with her, I was able to explain to her some of the biggest challenges and the biggest blocks that I was having in my business at that time. And as I did that, within about 20 minutes, it did not take her very long because she's been doing this for a very long time. Within about 20 minutes, she had completely ripped apart my entire business model. She had pointed out 5 different ways that of things that I didn't even see that I was doing wrong, that was going to actually be harmful for my business. And she said, the things that she told me, they were actually truth, and I actually made large pivots in my business after that phone call based on the things that she told me in that phone call. And then for the last 10 minutes of the call, again, this was like a 30-minute phone call I had with her, she began to explain to me how that she usually provides high-level executive coaching for, I think at the time it was a 4-figure monthly investment. And I said, well, I'm not sure if I can commit to that. She's like, well, because it's Christmas time, I don't even offer this anymore, but I'd love to offer to have you come out here to do a half-day coaching session for $5,000. I was like, wow, it's a lot of money today. And that was a lot of money back in 2011, especially right before Christmas. I'm like, well, I don't know. But because she had already helped me in that first 20 minutes with helping me to see that the entire business model that I was involved in at that time had a bunch of areas in it that I couldn't even see that were wrong. I thought, wow, if I do go forward with this is going to help my business. So I told her, so give me a second, let me talk to my husband, because I usually don't spend $5,000 without talking to my husband first. And talked to my husband, and he gave me the okay and made that decision to make that investment. And the catch was I was going to be actually flying out to meet with her in person a couple of weeks later. It was all very, very quick. So we made that decision, paid the $5,000, and got my plane tickets and got all excited. And I started to get really excited about going out to meet with her for the half a day, where I was going to be able to get more information about more help from her, one-on-one help to help me to grow and scale my business for the next year. Well, in that time, I think there was maybe 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks between the time I signed up for that one-on-one coaching consultation and the time that I was going to be flying out to go and meet with her. And so during that time, I spent, I don't know how many hours, probably 60 hours or more, consuming every bit of content on her website. I downloaded she had tons of free guides and templates at that time. She doesn't offer them anymore. But I downloaded everything from her website. I filled out, she had a lot of templates to fill out to help you to figure out how to grow and scale your business. I filled out every single one of those templates. I read every one of her blog posts. If she had ebooks, I read all of her ebooks. I basically learned everything that I could about what her teachings were and her philosophies were in that couple of week time period before I met with her, because I had already made that decision to invest $5,000 with her, and I wanted to make sure that the time that I spent with her in that half-day meeting, I was going to be able to get the most out of my time, and that I wasn't going to have her teach me the basics anymore. That I was going to be able to ask her intelligent questions based on all of the things that I had, consumed on her website. And so then something very interesting happened. It became the day. I was very excited. I flew out by myself. My husband couldn't go with me. Usually he always goes with me. I went out by myself, and I rented a car by myself, and which is a big deal for me, and got myself to her office, which was actually she had a little sub office where her lawyers were also there present, and it was like a law office where she also had a meeting room. And so I met with her that morning. I think I can't remember if I met with her from like 9 to 1 or 1 to 5. But I met with her, and as I was meeting with her, something very interesting happened. She began to try to, I say try, well, we began to I began to show her all of the templates that I had filled out, all of the work that I had done in preparation for a meeting. I had my list of questions. And as I was there with her for 4 hours, it was very helpful, it was very valuable. But she began to try to teach me the things that I had already learned myself from her website. So she began to talk to me about how you need to have different types of goals in your business, and there's a specific way to set goals for your business. I said, yeah, just like you said here. And she's like, yes, and realizing that I had already consumed everything on her website about that topic. So then she'd move on to the next thing. Okay, when you're managing a team, these are some things that you need to look out for when managing a team, and this is the kind of people that you need to hire, and these are the kinds of processes that you need to have when you hire people. I said, oh yeah, just like you said here on your website. That's kind of pretty much how the entire 4 hours went. She tried to teach me the things that she had already taught on her website in a one-on-one setting. And at the end of the day, I was able to walk away with a very strategic plan that helped me to grow and scale my business over the next 12 months. But we got done we didn't really need the whole 4 hours because I had already prepared myself ahead of time. And what I learned from that was if I had not invested that $5,000 in with that for the half-day consulting session, I would not have consumed every bit of content that she had on her website. I would have just downloaded that one assessment that I took from her that I did on her website initially, and I would have walked away, and I would have gone and I would have looked at something else and someone else's website. Even though her website had all of this material that was extremely valuable, very helpful, and was revealing basically all of her knowledge was right there on her website, free to the taking, but people were not availing themselves to it because they hadn't made that type of an investment or a commitment in doing that. And that is what I find happens today all the time. When we want to help people, if you're a course creator, if you're a service provider, you have a desire, especially if you're creating courses or content for people, if you're selling your expertise and your knowledge, you have a desire to give the information away because you know the information is so helpful and it's going to be so helpful to the person in their business. And if they just follow your path, follow the instructions that you've given, follow your training, follow your course, they're going to be able to grow and scale their business, and you know that. The problem is when you give something away for free, people don't value it, right? They don't. And if you sell it for $1, they don't value it. If you give it for $37, they're going to value it at the $37 level. But if you're charging someone $10,000, well, now maybe they're going to pay attention because that is a significant investment. It's like someone that's going to go get a car. If you're going to buy a car for $2,000 or if you're going to buy a car for $20,000, which one are you going to take better care of? Which one are you going to spend more time in making sure that it's being maintained and the oil's getting changed? Well, the one that you invested more money in. And I believe that each person has a get stuff done threshold. And that get stuff done threshold is the threshold that they have to pay to be able to finally implement and get stuff done. Let me see if I can explain that a little bit better. So one of my other friends, he has a coach for men that have addictions. And in the beginning, he was charging a very low amount for men to take this course to help them to overcome their addictions. So he was charging maybe $97. Well, he found that they would pay the $97, but they wouldn't finish the course. They wouldn't do the training. So then he said, well, I'm going to raise the rate to $197. Well, now he found that before, if only 10% of the people would finish the program, now 20% of the people would finish the program. So he decided, well, I don't like 20% of people finishing the program. I'm going to raise the rate some more. So he raised it to $497. So now he's charging $497 for the same exact program, but now instead of only 10% of the people finishing the program, he now had a 60% rate of people that are actually finishing the program. Well, 60% is good, but I want the men that buy this course to finish it. So he decided to raise the price to $997. And when he raised the price to $997, now he had a completion rate of 85%. So there's still some people out there that we don't know what number they have to pay. Maybe they have to pay $2,000. Maybe they have to pay $3,000 to actually value the course that's going to help them to get that completion rate to 100%. And that is the same thing with us today. And with your customers and your clients as well, if you're creating courses, they're going to value what they have invested in. And that investment level is going to be different for every person. So maybe their investment level is $197 and they value $197 and they're going to finish it. And there's going to be other types of market segments that are going to be, no, they need to pay $997 to actually finish the program. For example, if you're teaching a course if you have a coaching or training program for parents. So parents, generally speaking, I'm not talking about entrepreneur type as parents, but the stay-at-home moms or the ones that maybe they have tighter budgets, you're going to charge a lower amount, but you may charge only $47, but you may have an 80% completion rate. That'll be great. But if you have entrepreneurs that if you charge them $47, well, they're going to take a look at it and then move on to the next thing, because their completion rate for completing that program would be a lot less because it wouldn't cost them enough to invest in it. So today, so what I learned from myself from investing $5,000 for a half-day coaching program was that I needed to make sure that there's two ways to get myself to actually take action. Number one, I can pay a lot of money, and then I will definitely be motivated to complete that course or that training. Or I can say, okay, I'm going to pretend like I paid a lot of money, and I'm going to just dedicate myself to do it. That usually doesn't work. But investing in yourself is so important. So investing in yourself, in coaching for yourself, mentorship for yourself, is going to help you to grow and to scale your business. Because when you do decide to make that investment of $5,000, of $10,000, it's going to motivate you that much more to complete the training, to complete the program, which at the end of the day, it's to your benefit because it's going to help you to grow and to scale your business.